Okay, so this is kind of a two-part video, and the first part is just me talking about this knife. Just want to show you this, and it's a design I've already done, so here's another version of it. But I want to try this design out in K390. So yeah, so I made this about a month ago. I've been wearing it since and just like using it at work and stuff like that, just to get an idea of how it's working out for me, basically. The second part is so because of just using K390 for this design and stuff, I kind of have an idea too of what would be like the perfect version of this knife. And I'll talk about that like in the end a little bit. So just to show you, like I said, it's K390. It's at 64 Rockwell hardness. This version has a 9-inch blade and the handle's about 4.5 inches. I used ebony for the handle and then just copper rivets. And there's different types of ebony. There's like striped ebony. There's ebony that's a little bit brownish, stuff like that. I was able to find a nice like super black piece, but the problem is it's like cracking or whatever, or maybe I cracked it, but I don't think so. These lines weren't there before when I first made it. On the other side, I did notice a crack when I was like, it's way worse there. So I did notice this crack after using it for a while, but it's starting to move, it seems like. And this does have epoxy, it's not just the pins itself. But another thing I've noticed too on this, just working with ebony, is that it is super chippy for some reason. I had to think of a way of putting these pins, because the way this works is I make the design of the handle. So I glue the handle on here, put these pins, the smaller pins in, and leave these holes where these pins go, just empty. And then I do this whole design and I finish it up to like 400 grit. And then I put these pins in at the end, but I usually hammer them then. But this wood was so chippy that basically that was not an option. So I had to think of a way of doing it. I ended up pressing these in with my drill press. So I did make a video on that. I don't know if I'll post it or not. It's kind of obvious, I think, how to do it, but I'm not too sure. Well, whatever. I might put it up or not. But yeah, so I had to think of a different way of putting these pins in that wasn't just hammering them in. And my hands are a little jacked up because I just got done working. So, but yeah, the blade itself is, and there's some oil on it, but the blade itself has, so this is a scale from, so once I got it back from heat treatment, this is the scale that was on the blade. And I decided just to keep it on there because I knew I was gonna make the handle black just to see how it looks, and it looks okay. It's kind of a reverse of a patina because all the wear is basically clean spots, so it looks all right. I don't know if I like it still. I might just sand all this off, but that is an option. So yeah. All right. So for the second part, if I were to make a perfect version of this design, so just from all the information I've gathered or whatever, of just making different iterations of this knife, I would go with K390 would be one thing. I would make this, instead of a 9-inch blade, it would be a 9.5-inch blade, so similar to this one. So not that much of a belly, just more of a point, and then maybe even 10 inches. I'm not sure. And then handle material doesn't really matter, but K390, and this is something I tested today also, has been like the best edge stability steel that I've worked with. And sorry, so there's categories. I've talked very well about ADCR-V2 and how great it is at like keeping an edge from going wonky or whatever, just like getting messed up. But I've only tried it on just like regular wood, so regular dried wood, and by regular I mean like pine and stuff like that. Pine and I don't know, there's one tree that's called like the tree of life or whatever, that thing. I've tried it on a bunch of different trees, and today I tried it on like super dry pecan. And pecan is about twice as hard as walnut. So it's messed up other blades and stuff like that I've seen, and I want to try it on this. So that's why the reason I tried it on this one. And surprise, surprise, this has never happened before. It messed up, like mangled the edge on this thing. Like, look at this. I mean, it should be pretty easy to fix it, and this is super thin, but this has never happened before. So look at that, just mangled, destroyed. So, yeah, because it is ADCRV2, it should be easy to just get rid of that. But I use the same exact branch. It was like a 3-inch thick branch, same exact branch. I used this knife on it, and this is the damage done to it. So there, and you can see like the staining from just hitting the branch, and maybe a little bit there, maybe, not too sure, but huge difference from that. It's focusing on this guy. Huge difference from that. So yeah, so I might try that in the future. There's one more thing that I might change on this design, and if I do, I'll do it first in ADCRV2 just because it's easier to do, to work with, and all that stuff. And if I don't like it, you know, it's not a big deal. But I might. So see where this hump is here? I might get rid of that and then go all the way up to here, and then just like a curvature. So not exactly for my thumb, but let's just imagine my thumb there, something like that. But just as deep as this hump here. I'm gonna draw it out, see. So when I do this, my palm has a place to go into. It would be a little bit more comfortable, and it would add to this the secondary grip on this knife. So first grip, second grip, and it would do the same thing for the webbing of my hand. So yeah, all right, so I just want to put this in the end because I did fix the edges on both of these knives. I didn't want to just like show you the edges all mangled and then just end it at that. So I think this is a nicer note to end at. This one though, I couldn't go deep enough. I didn't want to. See, there's a bit of a dent there. So there was a dent, and it went too deep for me to actually want to take away that much material. So I left it at that, and eventually I'll get there the more I use this knife. But let me show you the edge so you can see. So yeah. Whoop. It's gonna bend on me instead. Okay, so I can't get ADCRV2 as sharp as K390, and I don't know why. But I did take off that scale on this knife, and I found that below it has these stains, and I actually liked it so far. So I'm gonna leave this, and if I don't like this, I'll take off those stains too. But so far, I like it better. Might go a little bit higher grit. This is only 400, which was the original grit I had it on when I sent it to get heat treated. Yeah, way sharper. And I can't get ADCRV2 that sharp. I don't know if it's my sharpening method, or that ADCRV2 has like big carbides or whatever. But yeah, just want to show you. These guys fixed already, so yeah, it's a better note to end at, like I said. All right. Oh yeah, any questions or suggestions, let me know. All right, bye.